Welcome to the Craft Beer Review. Today I'm going to be trying Mr. Stevens Session Porter from Alementary Brewing Company in Hackensack, New Jersey. Alright, now let's see, on the can they say, the original soccer hooligan beer. Our Session Porter is chock full of delicious roasted malt flavor, balanced by a slight earthy hop character. Low ABV lets you crush a few without accidentally blowing up a planet. Whether you're enjoying lunch in the canteen, trying to run a space station, or just hanging out watching the game, Mr. Stevens is the perfect companion. They list out the SRM, which is a color scale. It's 28. That's on the darker side, as you'd expect for a porter. They list out the CO2, the carbonation is 2.40, 14 IBUs, an original gravity of 1045, and an ABV of 4.2%. All right. Session Porter. All right, here we go. Ooh, definitely carbonated. Let's see. Hold that up to the light a little bit here. It's looking dark. Got a nice tan head on top. A lot of head on here. I just took this out of the fridge maybe a couple minutes ago. You know, smelling some roasted character. Not overpowering. Subtle roasted character. I don't think I'm really smelling any hop character at all. It's really kind of just a subtle roasted malt character. I guess speculating what they mean by session porter. I mean, when something is described as session, generally that means like less alcohol, less body, so it doesn't fill you up, just kind of like smaller. For me, I see that and I kind of think of, okay, it's probably not going to be an overly complex beer, because if it's session, lower alcohol, less body, that means there's less flavor development, less variety of flavors. Doesn't mean it can't be good, just it's going to be a simple beer. It might be solid, but it's not going to be complex. Yeah, definitely on the dark side. Definitely within the range of what you'd expect for a porter. I mean, at the bottom, I feel like I might be able to see a little bit of redness, but generally speaking, it just kind of looks like a nice brown to black beer, which it's not unexpected. Still just a subtle aroma. Just that subtle roasted character. Maybe a touch kind of earthiness to it. Maybe. I don't know if that's my imagination or not. If it's there, it's not really overpowering. All right, I think the head's gone down enough. Let's give it a try. That's kind of what I expected. It's kind of like what I was just talking about, where it's a dark beer, but it is a session beer, and it's kind of lighter in body. I mean, if you're looking at this and be like, oh, it's going to be full-bodied beer because of the color, it's not. I mean, it's not. That's not a bad thing. That's just what it is. It's certainly not filling. I feel like I'm getting touch of maltiness, maybe touch of maltiness with a little bit of earthy hop character, and then it just kind of goes right into a roasted aftertaste. So maybe a little bit more complex than I was expecting. Maybe that's just telling me I need to learn to keep an open mind a little bit instead of judging before I taste something. That's not bad. I mean, like it says, it's a session porter. I don't expect a lot to be going on, but it's got a little bit of maltiness with a little bit of hop earthiness, and then a roasted aftertaste. But the roasted aftertaste isn't that overpowering. So describing this as like a session porter, like a session American porter, I think that's appropriate, and I think it fits its name. The one thing I would say, though, I want to take another sip or two to see if, before I say this, because let's see, I just want to confirm. Yeah, it's definitely there. I feel like mixed in with the flavors I've already described, I am definitely getting a little bit of a metallic flavor from the beer. And given that most aluminum cans, have a lining in them these days to prevent metallic flavors, from what I've read, my understanding is that there's generally two ways you can get a metallic flavor in a beer, and that's from non-stainless steel metal brewing equipment or improperly stored grains. Believe it or not, improperly stored grains can develop the same chemical compounds that give a metallic flavor to a beer. And I'm definitely getting a little bit of a metallic flavor mixed in with the roastiness as an aftertaste. It's not overly strong, but it's definitely there, and it's not pleasant. But again, I'm not 100% sure where it's coming from, but like I said, most aluminum cans, and this came in a can, are lined. So assuming this is a lined can, the only other two places I'm aware of where you can get a metallic flavor from are improperly stored grains or non-stainless steel brewing equipment. So there it is. But again, that off flavor is not overpowering. It's present, but it's not too bad. I would say that it's kind of building on my palate the more I drink the beer. So I don't know how strong it would feel, say, after, if I, this is a session beer. Supposedly you're supposed to drink a lot of them in one sitting. I don't know if I would, at what point that metallic flavor would build up to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to have any more. But I still think it's a good beer. I still think that it's a little bit more complex than I originally thought it was going to be, which is a good thing. And I think it's worth a try.